Hey, happy Thursday. I know what day of the week it is finally. I have had a head and chest cold all week, but it's on the mend. Last night in the evening I started. It's wonderful when it's such a magical feeling. We've been down for days, just down, and then suddenly it lifts and you feel human again. So that's where I'm at. I still am a little congested, but I feel human again. And I want to give credit, since we're doing 3 things Thursday. The very first thing I want to share is this is how I make it through cold and flu season with 2 kiddos in elementary school who bring home the ick and the crud from school. And we just started back a couple weeks ago, and those germs all came home and they hit me, and now they're hitting my husband. But here is my secret remedy. Number 1 is Nature's Way Sambucus. I like to get the immune syrup because it has elderberry, which is one of the only herbal remedies that has a clinical trial on record. And it does have a clinical trial showing that elderberry, specifically black elderberry, I think it's in syrup form, reduces the duration of a flu. It's one of the only, as far as I know, it's the only herb that has a clinical trial, because natural remedies don't get clinical trials because there's no money. Clinical trials are expensive. So this is what I use. And I've been using it for years, and I have friends that I've recommended it to who swear by it. I just ordered my new supply off of Amazon. I think it's like $16 a bottle. It's worth it. It's worth it because I think it really kicked this cold in the butt. So this is the immune syrup from Nature's Way, because like I said, it has elderberry. It also has zinc, vitamin C, some echinacea. So it's got a lot of extra stuff in there, and it has that black elderberry, which really, really boosts your immune system. The other thing I use is this essential oil. So right now I have one called Guard Against. doTERRA has one called On Guard, and what's the other one? Young Essentials? Is that? Or Young Living. Young Living has one, I think it's called Thieves Oil. So what I like to do with this is take a couple drops, put it in some warm water. Foodworks Alliance, you love elderberry? It's because you're smart, you know. So I like to take a couple drops of this, put it in some warm water, and gargle it. So I was getting a little bit of a sore throat, and I wasn't sure, is strep coming on? I don't know. I'm not a doctor, and I really hate going to doctors. So I like to gargle with a little bit of this, because it's an antiviral, antibacterial. I can't remember what oils. This is a blend of a lot of different oils. Wow. My eyes are getting bad. Cinnamon, clove. There's some orange. There's some rosemary. I ran out of my doTERRA blend of On Guard, but this is pretty similar. So those are the 2 things. Cold and flu season. It's here, folks. Sorry, it's here, especially if you've got littles or bigs that have gone back to school. Elderberry syrup, essential oil that is most of them have some sort of guard name. But look for an immunity oil. Like I said, doTERRA On Guard is what I used to use, but I got this one, I think, for Christmas, so that's what I have right now. All right, so those just kicked this cold in the butt. And like I said, still a little congested, but I don't know, 4 or 5 days with a cold, and then it goes away. That's a win in my book, because in the past, I've had them for 3 or 4 weeks. I'm sure you have too. Okay. Number 2 thing, I've got a hair on me somewhere. If you notice that I keep playing with my arm, it's tickling me. Number 2 thing I want to talk about, I was chatting with my friend Dawn yesterday, and she had shared with me this idea that I'd kind of already been thinking about. I'd heard about it. She follows a gentleman named Jon Acuff. Actually, his book Quitter helped me when I was trying to figure out how to quit my job and join my husband at home to work on our business. So that's a great book to check out, Jon Acuff, Quitter. He's a really funny author too. I love it when you read a book and it's not boring and you can laugh at it. But he has this challenge that's a September challenge, and it's this idea, And I really believe it, that September is kind of like a second New Year's. So New Year's hits and we all set resolutions and we're going to get things in order. We're going to do things right. And then the year goes, right? And then summer hits. And if you're like me, summer is summer. And you're not really going after a lot of your goals. You're trying to enjoy. If you live, like I'm in Ohio, we get like 2 weeks of summer. I'm kidding. Feels like it though. Like we want to be outside because in the winter it might be -11. So we like to enjoy our time in the summer, right? If you've got kids, the kids are out of school. You want to make those summers last. You only get, 18 of them maybe with them in your house. So goals and all the to-do list kind of, I don't know, they get kind of shoved back in the summer. But then back to school happens. So even if you're not a parent or not yet a parent, there's this energy in the air that it's almost like a New Year's. So John Acuff's challenge, because he challenges entrepreneurs and business owners and dream chasers, his challenge is to focus on one thing and spend 1 hour a day on it for 30 days. And so I wanted to bring that to you, even though I'm not necessarily doing that challenge. Think of this month as a new year. You're entering into a new year. What would you do? What needs, look back at what you've accomplished so far. Are you where you want to be? There's 4 months left in the year. If you are a physical product seller like we are, we're heading into the holiday season. Immune intuition, lines up with the Virgo season too, which is all about organizing our life. Yes, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that energy really hard right now, and it's probably a part of I don't have words. I've had a cold. Bear with me. It's probably a lot of the stress that I'm also feeling. The stress and the overwhelm is because there was no organization in summer. So I'm feeling that pull to get refocused. We sell physical products on Amazon and through social media, so our busy season's here. It's not coming, it's here. I'm already weeks behind on a lot of my holiday orders. They should have been in August. My brain still thinks it's July. Think of this as a good time to reset, a September reset. If you've got kids, they're probably back to school. Summer's over. Most of your vacations are done. So now you're starting to think ahead to the rest of the year. What can you do? What needs done? What do you need to change? What needs organized? I don't want you to be so stressed out that you start feeling shame. But think about getting reorganizing. Think of it as a reset. Not that you did something wrong. You're human. Not everything works. And you got to take breaks. There's ebbs and flows. Virgo is also about health. And of course, so many of us caught colds and have been dealing with that on top of the restructuring. Yes, it's almost like the universe just smacked me down and said, you got to stop now. It's time to rest for a bit and then reset. I really feel like that's what the universe was telling me, is to just lay down. Lay down, lady, lay down. So join me. Think of September as a chance to reset and move forward. So that was number 2. And if you want to, John Acuff's book, Quitter, I really enjoyed it. I probably read it 10 years ago. Gosh, that doesn't even seem real. I read it a long time ago, and I really enjoyed it. And it helped put some things in perspective. So if you're thinking that you might want to leave the corporate world or your job isn't fulfilling and you really feel called to do your own work, to work for yourself, that book was really, really powerful stuff. All right, moving on to thing number 3. And this one's gonna probably make some people mad, but I'm taking a chance. I want to talk to you about why becoming wealthy, in the sense of money. So you can feel wealthy in a lot of ways. Some of the ways I feel wealthy is having the freedom and flexibility to do the work I want, or being able to, leave my work for a bit and go do things that are fun. So having freedom makes me feel wealthy. I feel wealthy when I get to buy food at the farmer's market and I get to buy local meat that tends to be sometimes a little more expensive. I like to have not a lot of liquor in the house, but if I'm going to have, I like whiskey and tequila. There, I said it. I like whiskey and I like tequila, and I don't like the cheap stuff. Having nice, high quality whiskey and tequila in my house, that makes me feel pretty darn wealthy. Foodworks Alliance, I always feel that energy in September. I agree, summer is slow on purpose to enjoy with littles, but I love getting ramped up in September. Yes, Terry, yes. Summer is meant to be slower. It really is. So let's talk about how your income or your ability to become wealthy financially. And when I'm talking about financial wealth, I'm thinking long term, not get rich quick, not having millions in the bank just so I can go sit on a beach. I'm talking about knowing I can retire securely and not depend on Social Security. Knowing that my children will be cared for and that I don't have to stress about their financial futures necessarily, or that they might have to take care of me financially in the future, because that would be, I think that's, every parent's, one of our worst nightmares is being a burden on our children. So when I'm talking about wealth, I'm not talking about Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos level, okay? That's not what I'm here for. I'm talking about practical, you've got money in the bank, you feel good, you know that you're going to be able to take care of yourself later, even if you can't work, that kind of wealth, okay? So you with me? Why future wealth isn't dependent necessarily on your income level. So we're going to look at two people. I know this is backwards, but these both say income. So person number one and person number two both make the same amount of money. But person number one, let's see if I can get in the picture here. I haven't done this before. So person number one, this is their income level, and here's what they spend. Kind of looks like the average American, right? Might look like you. I know this looked like me at one point, and sometimes I still spend quite a bit. If you spend all that you make, you will be broke. You won't have wealth because you're not going to be there's nothing left. Person number two makes the same amount of money, and they spend, let me get in the picture here, they spend to right there. And this little portion, this square, this little 10% gets invested. This person ends up becoming wealthy off of those investments because compound interest is one of the greatest magic tricks that ever existed. So my point is, you don't have to make $100,000 a year to become wealthy. You just have to save a little bit and invest it. I personally invest in index funds. I don't have time to study the stock market. Even though I'm interested in it, I really don't have time to dig into all the financial reports. I'm running a business. I'm building another business. I got 2 kids. I got 5 pets. I have a husband and friends and a life. And I don't have time to get into all of the different funds. So for me, index funds, I just follow the market. But the person who always spends every dime will never build those investments. If you can save even a little bit, can you save $10 this week? You don't have to. A lot of people think when it comes to investing, you need to be able to put thousands of dollars away at a time. You can open funds. I like Ally investing, but there's also Ally investing I've used for some individual stocks, not very many. I like Vanguard. Those are the index funds I buy, is Vanguard. But set something up, even if it's with your employer. Save a little tiny bit and put it in an investment. Because if that investment earns, and I'm talking long term, we're not going to put our money into an investment and then cash it out in 2 years because we're rich. Sorry, you're not the unicorn. Neither am I. So we need to have a more realistic approach that fits our lifestyle. And that is a little bit of money over time, consistently, stick it into something as simple as an investment fund, not investment advice, just telling you what I do, and watch that grow. Those first 10 years of investing, I was fortunate. I had a mother who really harped on me. Thanks, Mom. Thank you. Because you harped on me in my early 20s to open a 401k. You told me how important it was, and I listened. And so those first 10 years of putting money away into the 401k, it felt like a loss. It really did. I mean, there was a recession that happened, and it just didn't feel like that money was really gaining any momentum. But now we're entering the phase where the compound interest is kicking in, and those investments are building. And now our investments, we've got about $100,000 in our retirement fund. And I'm looking at our compound interest calculators. The stock market generally returns about 8% a year when you look at it over 20, 30 years. Like the market might return negative 24% like it did, I don't remember, the Great Recession. I think it was even lower. I think it was like negative 40%. So, but we kept our money in, and we let it grow, and we let it grow, and we let it grow. And that's the beauty of compound interest, is in the beginning it doesn't look like anything, but then it starts to look like a lot. And I'm looking at that $100,000, even if we never put in another dime, and I'm not planning on taking it out for another 20 years, we'll probably have $600,000 if we never invest another cent. Hold on, guys. It's cold still hitting my throat. That means that I will have money to feed myself later, because I don't know if Social Security is going to be there. I know they keep saying it's not going to be, and then people are like, of course it will be. I have no idea. I don't know what the future is going to hold, but I feel confident that if I continue investing over time, over the long haul, that I won't have to eat canned dog food in retirement, that my children I won't have to move in with them because I can't afford rent, that I will be able to potentially pay those medical bills or those long-term care bills. So that's the kind of wealth I'm talking about. I'm not talking about building empires and getting rich just for the sake of getting rich. Don't chase dollars just to chase dollars. Chase your reasons. Immune intuition. It sucks for us because when I got sick, we had to make the decision to put every dime into getting me well. Now we're moving into our 30s and have to start from the beginning. That's the harsh reality of life, and that sucks. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you. Start over. You still have time. You are not running out of time. You are entering your 30s. There's a really good chance you could see 100. We're making huge technological advances in medicine, and the people alive today in immune intuition, I know that you take pretty good care of yourself because we're in some chats together. So there's a good chance that you've got another 50 to 70 years on this planet. It is not too late. The best time to start investing was yesterday. The next best time is today. And you don't have to start with a lot, just a little. Just build that muscle. But yeah, your wealth, your future wealth, being able to take care of yourself in the future is not necessarily dependent on having a high income. Now, I do understand there are folks out there who are really struggling, and there isn't $10. And that's not who I'm talking to. There are systemic issues in our culture, around the planet, that people are dropping through the cracks. That's not what I'm talking about. Most of the people I know, most of the people I talk to, most of you on Instagram, you got $10. I haven't read the book yet. There's a book out by David Bach called The Latte Factor, and it's a story, but basically it's talking about how little tiny bits of money over time are what build wealth. Because his grandmother did it, and she was not a wealthy woman, but she did end up becoming a millionaire. And it took 30 years. I'm not here for get rich quick. Those are scams. Quit listening to them. No, there's no easy way. Consistent action over time. That's what'll do it. That's what I believe in. And so I hope you've enjoyed this round of Three Things Thursday. Let's wrap up again. If you are getting hit with colds and flus, here's some Nature's Way immune support or immune syrup, and then these guard oils. Gargling those with a little bit of water and then taking a couple shots of this a day really kicks a cold or the flu in the butt. Number 2 is, what do we talk about? September, the new year. What are you going to do? What are you resetting? What needs reset? You got this. You got 4 more months of the year to work on your goals. I believe in you. So what are you going to reset? What are you going to focus on? And then the last thing was that your future wealth is not dependent on a high income, just small little bits over time. So the best time to invest, what I say, was yesterday. Let's get started today. Can you open an account? Do you have your 401k with your employer? Can you set aside $100 a month, $50 a month, $25 a month? Just to build that muscle, just to get in the habit of automatically investing so that in 20 or 30 years, you have some money. That's what I got for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for all the comments and messages. You guys are an amazing community, and I am just honored to be a part of it because you guys rock, and most of the internet is snarky and mean, and you guys aren't. You're kind and sweet and loving and supportive, and I love you. So have a great Thursday. Have a great weekend, and I will catch you again soon. Bye, guys.